Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. And we are underway here in Las Vegas. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Right to the air is Daniels. This is swung out to Eckler. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Daniels looking to throw. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll lead here to a third down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing now is Daniels. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chains, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
That was a good illustration of setting the edge as a defensive end, being able to make sure that you stay on your feet no matter what type of block, and you're not going to get pushed inside. Stayed home, skated to the outside, and made the play.
They go play action. Daniels. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. To the air goes Daniels. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a fourth down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
Tress Way on fourth down is sent out to punt. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Geno. His throw incomplete. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Geno. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Now a handoff looking right. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
They got a completion there, but that's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, hey, take 1 or 2 yards, we're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Commander's going to retake the field for drive number 2. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. Now he's free to midfield and all the way down to the 41-yard line. A big play there on the option. 41 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. Give to Robinson on the option. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. On the tackle there, Lonnie Johnson. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
To throw is Daniels. He'll get this to Eckler. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a first down Washington on a pickup of 18. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best, and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. On the bootleg, it's Daniels. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Commanders are on the board first here in Vegas. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Play action. It's Smith. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. The flag was down, so they took a shot, thinking it's on the defense. Let's see. So they take the... And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. Geno now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. And it looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Fielded at about the 28. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Here's Daniels. And complete to Zach Ertz. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down. On the counter, this is Robinson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Eckler now between the tackles. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Daniels. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And this is caught. It's Brown. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Now Daniels going to give it up on the touch pass. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Now a 2nd and 10. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Yeah, he's got it. And the Commanders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Back to throw. Daniels to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Daniels. And he takes it in for a Commander's touchdown. Zach Ertz from a yard out. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Raiders now set to get the football back. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. Back to throw, Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the 1st down.
To throw is Smith. That's over the middle and caught by the rookie. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other, a gain of 6. This 2nd and 4. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Here's Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
Well, this might very well have been 4-down territory, but that's not going to matter now. They get a nice throw there on 3rd down, and they're able to keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. Short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And the Washington offense heading out. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Play action, now it's Daniels. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And this offense on third down today, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The third down conversion successful. A gain of 11.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Daniels. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain. Second and 6. Robinson up the middle. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 10 yards there, good for a Washington first down.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball.
And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. It led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Operating from the gun, Daniels. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 35. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Daniels looking to throw. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Hurts over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Throwing now is Daniels. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Noah Brown, a 24-yard touchdown, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And now here come the Raiders. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's Smith. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, third down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. Now it's Smith. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quan Martin. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. To the air goes Daniels. A quick throw there is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for second and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it third and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10. Looking to throw. Daniels. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That is caught and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. To throw is Daniels. Looking for the out route, and he's got it. It's complete to McCaffrey. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Touchdown, Washington. Noah Brown with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Commanders are able to add on to their first half lead. So the numbers are starting to pile up here early on. We have yet to reach halftime, yet that is already now 4 touchdown passes. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. One final go for this offense here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Geno. That's caught by Tucker. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Third down and 1. Off of play action. Here's Smith. And this will be caught at the 30. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
The kick by Carlson is good, and they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Four seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. McCaffrey on the return, taking it about the 1. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to bring up second down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential, but when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Raider first.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Right back to him on first down. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
Now Geno. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Geno now to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. First possession of the second half now for Washington. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
Here's Daniels. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 4. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Robinson will try to pick it up. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That good for 19 and a 1st down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. 52 yards. And the Raiders get a bit closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And he is going to get in there for the 2 points to make this a 12-point game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Now Daniels. That's Samuel, caught left side. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw. Daniels. It returns it right back to Samuel. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. One heck of a 3rd down conversion. 33 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. So the completion good for just 3, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And down inside the 15 he goes. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Commanders have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up this secondary all game long, and this time that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and adding another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have, because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around. They're reading coverages early. So now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball definitely coming from his head coach.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A shotgun snap for Smith. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Tucker. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. From the 33, here's a 2nd down and 4. Smith. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Now, that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Back to throw, Smith. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Throwing is Smith. And that is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. This will be 3rd and 6. Option play, and they'll give to Eckler. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 64 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. They get 17 there. Good for a Commander's first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple. Daniels looking to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Jeremy Chin, so dangerous wherever he's at on the field, and that time he gets in there for the sack. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. Gay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Out of the gun, Smith. Open man is Tucker. And he's got this down to the 35. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Smith. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, he's got Myers. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. 3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. It's Myers again with another catch. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches. That time the conversion comes courtesy of the RPO.
And know what it did? It moved the sticks. Nice pickup on 3rd down. Even better decision.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They work now on 2nd and 9. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. Throw left side, pulled in by Tucker. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 74 yards on the ground for Eckler here. That's a 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes you'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Well, give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run and then executed.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9. Debo going in motion left. On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Now that's a quarterback who's in charge out there right now. Wants to throw the ball on 3rd down, doesn't find anyone open, tucks it away, takes off, and picks up the 1st down. Not by a little, but by plenty.
A couple of 1st downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Felton. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
So it's Washington getting the victory here. And really, it looked at times like they just had this one in cruise control out there.
Yeah, they deserve a ton of credit because you and I both know, heck, they knew. This is a tough place to play. Overcame that with ease, romped home with an easy win. And here's the best part for them. It'll be easy to get to the airport because the crowd left pretty early in this one, didn't they?
Well, plus they have a police escort.
Okay, you had to spoil that part of it. Of course, they're going to get there. But think about how wide open things are now because this crowd didn't expect this.
No.
So they went back to the tailgate and said, let's go eat. This one isn't any fun for us.
Yeah, they took the drama out of this one pretty early on. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.